I go back and forth. I'm not gonna lie, I totally go back and forth. You know, the human race and how much they were for or against me is the ending that exists. So they were about 50% against Jesus. So half of church, humanity, government just hated him, but half didn't. So Pontius Pilate was the famous guy that, killed him and tried to wash his hands of it. It doesn't work like that. It's like Judas Iscariot throwing back the money. It doesn't change anything. That guy, Pontius Pilate, could have said, just don't kill Jesus. I run everything. Don't kill Jesus. But instead he put on this weird, stupid acting job. I will wash my hands of this. No. Not when you're the ruler that could have just made sure it never happened. So just screw up. But they always put on a show so gods will let them get away with it, or they think they're fooling gods or something. It doesn't work. But half the world hated Jesus. And it showed, because half of everything sucked that bad. And it was that bad back then. But half the world loved Jesus. So there was amazing churches that loved and worshiped him as he would ever walk by or be nearby. There were churches around the world that started the love of him and his realities and had never got to see his miracles or love him. There were government people within government structure that lived on to be very excited to have had a Jesus on the planet, even if they didn't get to really know him. So half the world loved him, half the world hated him. During this time, mostly it was worship the United States in Dubai and hate me. And that's pretty much what all the world has done. In vast majority, it hasn't really been anything else. Which is why you have a world where most are laughing. The only time they ever stopped laughing is when I told them their punishments and what they would face in their soul. And then half the world didn't want to laugh anymore, but it doesn't change their laughing from the past. But they didn't want to make it worse and rack up some punishment totals. They decided to end it. Then the only reason that less than half stopped laughing was because I showed them the punishments and how the punishments add up and add up. So see, some stopped laughing right away because any punishment's in a soul, and they just stopped laughing. Wasn't funny anymore if they have to pay for it. I know the abuse of a dead God, the abuse of the death of God, the ha-ha overload because it's a God. I'm more fun to laugh at and abuse than any retard or homeless person because I'm a dead flippity God. But see, when you give into it, the punishments are sickening. So in the beginning, the whole world was laughing. They didn't give a shit what was happening to me and thought it was overly funny to laugh that a actual God could be going through such degraded or bad or death, abusive shit. And then all of a sudden, well, I don't like the punishments, so I'm just going to stop laughing. Then the punishments were getting worse and worse and worse. Well, now they're going to stop laughing. So now the only ones who laugh and won't let it go, the only obnoxious ones are the ones that just have a death wish and just hate God or are just devil type people or are just bad people so sickening and badly they would dig the hell into any and all crimes and never care the punishments anyway. But the world has had a spiritual talk with their ending and their choices and who they really are in the eyes of God. So everyone has had a spiritual talk about who they are in the eyes of God. In hate, in not hate. But it's a spiritual talk, so you can easily just block it out as a human or not really realize the talk you had as a human. But so I went to an area, I think it was in Loma Linda area, and I put my powers out for anyone to grab whatever they wanted. So I went out into the Loma Linda area. I told them all to grab my powers, grab whatever they want, but I wasn't gonna jump around excited to make 5 billion videos about anything today. I've kind of had it with the up yours of existences. You know, but I had a really good time when they were saying hi from apartments and houses far away. So I thought, well, you know, I'm still going to tell everybody that I'm in the area. I'm still going to tell everybody that they can grab my powers or do whatever they want. But I'm just going to be so casual about myself today. Maybe tomorrow. And see if it's maybe nicer to just live all about myself. And then if I'm in your area, which I would of course still organize to be in areas where I could help with my powers the most. But people could take or leave it. I don't know if I should work that hard anymore at anything. So I'm going to give it a couple days to decide about that. And because it might be better. It might be better to map out the best miracles or the best places, and then just hang out wherever I choose to hang out, but have little to nothing to do with humanity. And then wherever I'm sitting, people could take or leave my powers. And then maybe if they get overly gross or abusive, just switch to a different road. Because if they're getting tons of punishments, it's sad for the people that wanted the miracle, but like, why put yourself through the abuse? Better to throw out whatever power the miracle people could get and just go somewhere else. Because it's nicer just to watch punishments automatically. Gods go to court, punishments go in their soul. Gods go to court, punishments go in their soul. There's no reason to ever have anything down here that matters, because they should just get punished in their soul, so they just don't exist and can't really be weird or gross against gods or anything else anymore. And then life just goes to boring, regular, good people that already have a fear of God, wouldn't want to hurt anybody anyway, and just want to live on in happiness out there. The big topic among gods is, when are you going to have money and have your powers? This is why people treat you like shit, because you don't have money and you don't have powers. Gods. I don't want to have money and I don't want to have powers. Because when you have money and when you have powers, out of that 50% that loved and worshiped Jesus, was it just because people would give him money and he had powers? See, I'd want to know that. I'd want to know that if Jesus did not have his money or his powers until he won at the end, would they all have treated him like shit? Because then they all should have gotten bad things, not good things. And they were only nice because he had things. He had selfish things they liked or something. So you don't really want to honor those kind of things, and you don't want to like that kind of stuff. You want to find the ones that love Jesus because they just love Jesus. And we already know they did love Jesus. There was people that lived on in the love or memory or worship of Jesus when they didn't really even get to meet him or know whether he actually did any miracles or not. And they built all that anyway. You know, so is there people that worship me out the church? Well, of course. But like, they're already golden. They already get to go to heavens and have a beautiful future. This conversation is about what is important to work hard on or not, every other which way. Now, in Loma Linda, so you're in Loma Linda. You have a very serious illness, and you go to that Loma Linda big building. So you go to that really big fancy Loma Linda building, and you have a very serious illness. And you have been thinking or saying, my queen, my queen, my queen, for a while. And you asked me, well, now that I've been talking to you through my queen, my queen, my queen, you know, do you think you could help her save me? And I said, Well, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. Okay, so you're the one that I said, I don't know, I'll give it a shot. And I just wanted to say congratulations, because your next appointment is going to be very exciting. You're a Loma Linda patient, and you're tired of suffering. So you were thinking, my queen, my queen, my queen. And you were telling the gods that answered over and over, I'm just tired of suffering. I'm just tired of suffering. And you have a lot of medical nightmare issues, but the gods and I all joined together, and we think we could bring you a pretty good miracle pretty quick. So congratulations on your miracle, as quick as we can formulate as gods together how to help you with that. Then I'm in Redlands. You're somebody in Redlands who knows the end of the world is here, and you have seen somebody with a 666 on their forehead. And you thought or said, my queen, my queen, my queen, because you wanted to believe that 666 on a forehead wasn't there and it was something else, and you were maybe seeing things. Or maybe the stress of the times made you see things or something. Nope, that was a 666. A faint 666, because their guilt is not as substantial as others. So it means you have a chance to live, and if you stay near them, you probably won't. If you stay near the 666, at some point you'll die with the 666. The God that answered my queen, my queen, my queen was talking to you about a lot of things, but forgot to tell you that part. Now I'm over here in the Banning Beaumont area. And in the Banning Beaumont area, there is an old lady. And she's been thinking or saying, my queen, my queen, my queen, you could just take care of me. And then, like, you could just take care of me. And then, like, you could live in my house and take care of me. And she's like, my queen, my queen, my queen, I'm old, but I have a nice house and money. And I could use somebody to take care of me. So you could, I would love to have a God, an actual God, taking care of my house and me. And then you could sleep here. So I just want to say thank you to the older lady that said I could sleep at her house and take care of her. So that my life could be something not this way. But until I decide to write off humanity all the way through. See, I could go live in a corner, but it means humanity's just going to die and nobody's going to care. You know, the preacher is still blah, 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 end of the world, blah, 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 the good news, blah, 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 quoting the Bible. I'm the only real message of real gods left at the end of the world. So the big decision is whether I'm going to sit in a corner and just write everybody off, say goodbye, and see who wants to find the truth or live so badly they look for me. Or whether I stand on a corner like any idiot would, because I know if they don't find the real God, the real answers, they don't find a way out. So I'm going to decide. But thanks, because I will be visiting you at your house to talk to you about things. And because you thought it was cute to have an actual God taking care of you and having somewhere to sleep, I will show up here and there as a ghost to hang out with you as a ghost, get your life in order as a ghost, and show you the fun of being a ghost god that walks you to your life after here. So, and thank you for caring.